Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, October 2nd. It's time for our weekly meeting highlights. As you know, I go to attend workshop meetings on Thursdays, and that's my official weigh-in day. So if you want to see each week my official weight loss, notice I said loss, tune into my daily vlogs on Thursdays. Usually I tell you pretty much at the beginning how I did. But I'll continue to show you on Mondays when I do my highlights, because I'm just used to doing my highlights on Monday. So I'm going to always do my highlights on Monday. And I'll tell you how my week previously weigh-in went, which was last Thursday. Excuse me. So let's see how I did. I think I did pretty good. I lost 2.6 after an 8.8 loss the week before. So I've lost 11.4 pounds in 2 weigh-ins. So I'm doing really well. Not to brag, but I'm doing really well. And I have a total loss now at 48.4. I'm setting small little 5-pound goals. So my next goal here now is to hit the 50 pounds loss, which I've been to before. But I'm going to get there again. And I'm going to continue moving forward and getting more and more weight loss added on to that number. So we'll see how I do this Thursday. I went away for the weekend for a wedding. I was trying to be mindful, but you know, like when you eat out a lot, it kind of holds sodium. So I'm feeling a little bloated today. I'm just going to drink a lot more water this week, that's all. And see how my weigh-in goes on Thursdays, because I only weigh myself once a week. And now it's on Thursdays at 11 o'clock at the Weight Watcher meeting. So tune in Thursday to see how I did from my weekend. Excuse me, it's the weather. But anyway, this week's topic is how to be more aware of your eating habits and why it can help you. Such a true statement. I was very much aware of what I was eating over the weekend. I did have an ice cream cone. We went to Frankenmuth on Friday, and we went to Saginaw for a wedding on Saturday. I did have a piece of wedding cake. I had some appetizers beforehand, but I planned for it for the day, and so I really think that I did pretty well for the weekend. Other than, like I said, when you travel, you tend to hold a little bit of weight, and not that it's like 2 hours away, so it's not like it was a far distance to go, but, you know, I just drink a lot of water. Anyway, the fact is, it's not only what you eat that impacts your weight loss journey, but also when and how you eat. I don't eat when I travel, so sometimes that adds a problem, but since it was such a short trip, 2 hours, it didn't really affect my day that much. When everybody had breakfast in the morning, I didn't eat breakfast. I don't eat that early. For my normal part, I usually eat my breakfast, lunch, brunch, whatever you want to call it, about 1 o'clock. And then I don't eat dinner until 6 or 7. Sometimes I'll have a lunch in between. Sometimes I'll have like a snack in between. But for the most part, I just eat those 2 meals. And I realize that as I'm getting older, I should probably eat more smaller meals along the day to kind of keep my metabolism going. I don't like eating before 1 o'clock. My stomach's just not ready for it. And I don't get up until I don't get out of the bed till like almost 10 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed around 2 or 3 in the morning. So I do get a full 6-7 hours worth of sleep, but I like to lay in the bed and play games on my phone, answer my email, check my bank balance, all of that stuff before I get out of bed. So when I get up at 10, take my shower, by the time I'm like really moving for the day, it's 11. So I don't have a problem waiting the 2 hours to eat my breakfast. But I do think that I do need to start moving a little bit more, because I'm just not moving enough. We call what you, when and how you eat, your overall eating patterns. And to make meaningful changes, you need to know what you're working with. Choose 3 days this week to tune into each meal and snack, and then follow these steps. Well, that'll work out perfect for me, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I get weighed on Thursday. I should have brought some water back here. I'm sorry. Anyway, it says to try this. Right before you eat a meal or snack, jot down the following I always got to screw up at least one time. You know that. Right before you eat a meal or snack, jot down the following. It's been how long since how many hours, how many minutes since you last ate. And then you're going to check the box that says my hunger level is, this is what I'm talking about, this little box. I'll put it right here. You want to check this little box. My hunger level is at a 1, I'm not really that hungry, or a 5, I'm starving. I don't think anybody in the well, I can't say that for sure. I think anybody at Weight Watchers can't actually say that they've shown a period in the recent life that they were starving. I'm not saying that there's not people in the United States that are starving, because I'm quite sure there are quite a few people, which is unfortunate in a country our size to have people that are starving. But anybody that's in Weight Watchers that's overweight hasn't really known the true meaning of starving in a very long time. So, if at all. So you got to rate it where you're at between 1 and 5. And then you got to feel, then you'd say how you feel. Do you feel content? Are you energized? Are you exhausted? Are you stressed? Are you bummed out? Or is it just some other feeling? So are you, number one, are you hungry because you just didn't have enough to eat before? Or you're just exhausted? And so sometimes when you're exhausted, you just want to eat. Or are you stressed about something? I know Joan's not going to like that one because she doesn't think there's such a thing as stress eating. I listened to her definition, and to my when I hear it, I still hear the definition of stress eating. I'm sorry, Joan, but that's what I hear. And maybe that's not, maybe I'm just not hearing it right, but you're saying that the stress doesn't cause you to, you're not stress eating, stress is causing you to eat. Well, that's stress eating in my opinion, but I don't know. I mean, I could be all wrong, Joan. I so apologize if I am. But anyway, so then you just rate it on that. And then after you do all of that, track, it says eat and track. I think you should track and then eat. Because it's easy to eat and then track it afterwards and say, oh my gosh, that was so many points. I couldn't believe it was that many points. How many of us have done that? I know I've done that. I thought, well, I'll just track it when I'm done. And then I think, well, I had the cheese for 5, and then I had the juice for 2, and then I had the toast for 2, and I had some jelly for 3. And then before you know it, it's adding up to like a 15 or 16 point breakfast. So I think it should have been track and then eat. The next thing you want to do is number 3 is 30 minutes after you write, 30 minutes after you eat, write a few more notes. The amount I ate was what I planned, less than I planned, more than I planned. Unfortunately, I'm never going to check less than I planned. I have healthy portions, and that's not good. I eat healthy foods, but even healthy foods have calories, and so you can overeat hard-boiled eggs. You really can. Like if you have 2 hard-boiled eggs at every meal, that's 6 eggs. That's a half a dozen eggs in a day. That's like almost 500 calories. So, I mean, I know there's 0 points, but we have to look at it from the fact that just because there's 0 points doesn't mean it's 0 calories. And that sometimes is really hard to relate to. Even my berries, they're not a lot of points, but if I'm popping berries in my mouth all day, that's going to make a difference. It really is. Though after you figured out, did you eat enough, not enough, whatever. You figure, is my hunger level I'm really not hungry, or I'm really starving. So once again, I'll put another little clip in here of this little chart so that you can see. And then you want to put the speed at which you ate. I eat very, 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 very slow. I don't have very many teeth. My only teeth are the ones in the front. I don't have back teeth. I have strong gums. Let me tell you, I have strong gums. I refuse to get a plate. I don't want a plate. And I figure as long as I can eat, I'm fine. But I'm not really vain. My teeth have always bothered me my whole life. If I had to pick my worst feature, you would think people would say, oh, your big butt, your big belly, your flabby arms. I would always pick my teeth. My teeth have always been the bane of my existence. I've always hated my teeth. I have a baby tooth still that never came out, and the dentist didn't pull it out because he said there's no other tooth up there to come down, so you might as well leave it in. So I have a baby tooth. So I'm always going to be young at heart. But so I eat very, very slow. When we go out to eat, I always have a takeout bag because everybody else is done, and I don't want to hold everybody up, and so I just say, oh, I'm full, I'll take it. And then I come home and proceed to finish eating it, which is silly because by the time I get home, I realize half the time that what I ate in the restaurant was more than enough. And it's just psychological that I think, well, I can't put that in the refrigerator. I might as well eat it. If I was at the restaurant, I would have ate it. I know I got to get rid of that mindset, but I'm being honest with myself. That's the mindset I have. I have to work on that. And also they have to say my mindfulness level was like I barely remember eating, or I dialed into each bite. I think a lot of times I just eat, and then I get done and I go, oh, my potatoes are gone. did I eat all them potatoes already? I've done that more than once. And it's like, I'm not really enjoying my food. Whereas if as slow as I eat, you think I would savor my food a little bit more, but I really don't. I just like, I don't shovel it in, but I put it in, and then I don't pay mindfulness of, this tastes pretty good. I haven't had I had corn on the cob. I haven't had a good piece of corn on the cob, and I couldn't tell you when. Like that kind of stuff. I need to get back onto that track. And then afterwards say it's unlikely, likely, or I'm not sure that I'll eat it before my next meal plan or snack. Then you want to list the foods I enjoy eating most the foods I enjoyed most while eating, and then you put the foods that you ate that you really enjoyed eating. I enjoy a good piece of pizza. I can have pizza. I can. I just have to allot for the points for the day. I can have a donut. I just have to allot for the points for the day. And then afterwards, you have to feel, after you've done all this, you feel content, energized, exhausted, regretful, proud, or just what other feelings are you feeling? You got to think of these things. Let's dive a little deeper. Imagine that you're trying to save money by cutting out some of your expenses. Do you think you could do it without paying attention to how, when, or what you're spending your money on each week or month? Same with your food points. You got to think of the same thing. If you want to lose weight, you got to figure out how many calories do I have to cut in order to lose a pound. So you have to have the same kind of mentality. You probably don't, and the same goes for losing or maintaining weight. Sure, tracking food in the WW app builds awareness of what you're eating, and that's a great place to start. But digging into how and when and what's really going on here around each of your meals and snacks brings a deeper level of understanding that can help you make more impactful changes. Are you really eating because you're hungry? Are you eating because you're bored? Are you eating because you're stressed? Are you eating because you're sad? Are you eating because you're happy? There's so many different emotions that cause us to eat. And so you have to identify what the emotion is that's causing you to eat. And then recognize it the next time it happens. Your overall eating patterns influence things like your choices, your behaviors, and your feelings, which can make your journey easier or harder. Noticing habits helps you identify what's working, like eating more slowly, and what's not. Waiting until you're really hungry. You don't want to wait till you're like starving. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but you don't want to wait till you're so hungry that you're just going to overeat because you want to satisfy that feeling right away. They always say like the first 2 or 3 bites really should satisfy the urge for whatever type of food that is that you want, that you're craving. And so I do find that to be true, but then the back part of my brain here's my mother saying, don't waste food, finish it. There's people that are starving that would really like that food. That's another thing you got to get out of, that habit out of listening to that little voice in the back of your head. Once you do this, you can take steps to do more of the former and address the latter and even get closer to your goals. This is a pretty good topic this week. It really is. These are 3 fast facts. Number 1, your eating pattern includes what you eat as well as how you eat. Become aware of your eating patterns allows you to identify what's working and what changes you need to make. And you can help develop eating patterns that both set you up for success and that you can stick to long term. When I lost all my weight before, because I told you I lost 96 pounds, and I was really following my plan. I was really paying attention to everything I was doing, and I was tracking everything. And then I just decided that I could do it on my own, and I didn't really need to track every day. Like, what's it going to hurt if I gain a pound this week? I'm weighing in front of myself. Now that I have to weigh in front of somebody, I'm going to have to hold myself a little bit more accountable. It's making it a little bit easier to stay on plan. It really is, with no excuses. So anyway, 2.6 loss last Thursday for a 48.4 total loss. I'm going to get back up there to that 96 pounds. It's going to take me a while, but you know what? Like I always say, where am I going? I got this in the bag. No, I don't have this in the bag. I need to have support and encouragement, and I find that from the meetings. I've always got it from everybody that follows my channel, all my supporters, my family, everybody. So the one that I'm disappointing the most is myself. I really am disappointing myself the most because I know I can do better, and I know I will do better. So how did you guys do? What are some eating patterns that you wish you could break? There's a lot of eating patterns I wish I could break. And I think we need to write them down and just read them every once in a while. Just take a notebook or write them down. These are my eating patterns that I'd like to break. And then every once in a while, just bring it out and see if you've done better. And then also on the opposite page, list all the eating habits that you do appreciate that you do have. So I'm kind of curious, what are the ones that you don't like and what are ones that you do like? And then maybe that'll help me along. Who's to know? So, but if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. I hope to see you here again next week, but if not, I'm on my daily vlog every day. So check me out. Talk to you soon.